The Boys is currently the most popular show in the world, so it's a mystery to me why LEGO has yet to capitalize on the success and make some sets based off of it. Well, maybe not that much of a mystery, but I still think that the show could make for some pretty awesome LEGO sets and minifigures, which is why I took matters into my own hands and designed sets based off of some of the most iconic scenes from the show, and today we'll be taking a look at 3 custom LEGO sets that I made based off of The Boys Season 1. For the first set, I thought it appropriate to base it off of Episode 1, the scene I chose being the fight between Butcher and Translucent. So starting off with the figures, we of course have Billy Butcher himself. He uses the sleepyhead hairpiece in black and has a serious expression with a black beard. He's also wearing his black trench coat, and underneath is one of his signature Hawaiian shirts, this one being dark blue with orange and yellow flowers. His accessory is the crowbar that he uses against several supes, including Translucent, and for his alternate expression, I gave him a big bloody grin. Next is Hughie, and his hairpiece is the Captain America hairpiece in brown, and he has a sheepish look on his face. He's wearing the tech store shirt with a name tag on it, and underneath that is his Ramones shirt. He also has dual molded arms, a belt, and his other expression is a battered up and scared face. Finally, the last figure in this set is the first member of the 7 in this video, Translucent, and there's not much to say about him as he's a completely clear minifigure, so let's go ahead and move on to the build. This set has 2 main components, the first being Butcher's car. It's a gray Cadillac with a New York license plate and a gun on the inside. The back wheel is also slightly lower, giving it a slight tilted look. The other build is the audio-visual store itself. The front of the store has a sign up top and a couple of large windows as well as a glass door, and the door and one of the windows are attached to a couple of studs and can pop out very easily, allowing you to crash the car into the store just like in the episode. Next to that is a newspaper stand, and on the sidewall is a protruding Technic piece that relates to a play feature on the inside that I'll get to in just a second. Anyway, on the inside is the counter where Hughie works, and across from that are some TVs that are playing the Cameron Coleman show. And the Technic play feature that I mentioned is a simple launch mechanism allowing you to make it appear as though an invisible person is fighting Butcher or Hughie. The box art that I made for this set takes inspiration from the LEGO 18+ box arts and also has branding from The Boys. Next up, I wanted to make a set with Homelander in it, and the scene that I decided to recreate was when he and Maeve went to save Flight 37, which is one of, if not my favorite scene in the entire show. So starting off with the figure for Homelander himself, he uses the Cedric Diggory hairpiece in tan and has a smiling facial expression inspired by when he tells people that they're the real heroes. His suit is dark blue with a gold belt and shoulder pads, as well as red gloves, boots, and cape, and of course I had to include an alternate face with his red laser eyes. Next is Queen Maeve. She has a long orange hairpiece and a slight grin, as well as a crown printed onto her face piece. She wears dark red armor with metallic silver accents and gray boots, and her accessory is a gold sword, with her other facial expression being a worried one. Now, since the set is based on the plane, I included a few passengers, the first being the little girl that Maeve wanted to save. She has a worried expression and a jacket, and she uses short legs. I also made a figure of her mother who has a scared expression, long black hair, and a pink torso with brown pants. And then the last passenger is this random guy with a flannel shirt, a green cap using the new Russell hairpiece, and a worried expression with stubble printing. By the way, the last 2 figures have phones that include some fun Easter eggs. The first is the video of Homelander that Maeve uses as blackmail, and the other is someone listening to Firecracker's podcast on Vodify, a reference to Season 4. The next 2 figures are a couple of the guys who took control of the plane, and they're both just wearing some casual clothing, and their faces show their scared reaction to the soups coming on to save the plane. And then for their accessories, I gave them each a weapon. The last figure is the pilot, who wasn't really shown, but I figured I'd include him since it is a plane after all. Like most of the other figures, he has a worried expression, as well as a brown hairpiece, a pilot uniform, and some black headphones. Moving on to the build for Flight 37, one of the biggest challenges was making the front of the plane, and the reason for this is that I thought Mechabricks had all the specialized pieces that I needed to make a plane, but it turned out that they were missing quite a few, specifically the piece for the nose cone and the cockpit. But I wasn't really in the mood to give up just yet, so I specifically designed a plane cockpit for the set. And although it isn't quite as smooth as the actual mold, I'd say that it actually doesn't look half bad. The plane has a red, white, and blue color scheme, and a side door that can be ripped off to access the inside. The inside can also be accessed by simply removing the roof, allowing for the recreation of several scenes that take place inside of the cabin. Around the back is a small storage area where all the luggage can go, and I made some specialized prints for some of the luggage pieces, including a Vought suitcase and a Black Noir suitcase, which I think add a fun extra bit of detail. So here's a look at the set all together, with Homelander flying on the side and Maeve on the wing, and once again here's a look at the box art that I designed. For the last set, I decided to recreate Vought Tower in LEGO, as it is a central location in the show show and was highly requested by you guys over on my Instagram. This set was definitely a challenging build due to the shaping and the 7 that goes all around the building, but before we go into that, let's take a look at the figures. I included Homelander in this set as well, since I thought it just made sense to, and although I didn't really change up the figure, I did give him a small accessory. Next up is A-Train, one of my favorite characters who I really hope makes it out of the show alive. He has a black hairpiece and a smiling expression with blue goggles, and his outfit has a hexagon pattern with a light blue chest plate and a silver belt. He also has blue shoes and his logo on his sleeves, and finally his alternate expression shows his eyes and an angry face. The final soup in the video is Starlight. She has blonde hair and a smiling expression, and her outfit is white with gold detailing. She also has a white cape and light yellow boots, as well as some yellow power pieces. Her alternate expression is an angry one, and in retrospect I do kinda wish that I gave her the glowing yellow eyes, but I guess that'll just have to wait for another set. Hughie is also in this set, and in a different outfit this time. He's wearing jeans, a green jacket, and a Heartbreaker shirt underneath, and his face and hair are the same as from the first set. Now the next 3 figures are all VOD employees, starting off with Ashley. She has a serious expression and an orange suit, and she has black high heels printed onto her dual molded leg piece. The penultimate figure in this set, Stillwell, also has high heels, and then she's wearing a white shirt with rolled up sleeves and a smiling expression, as well as the Wonder Woman hairpiece in blonde. Lastly, we have Stan Edgar. He uses the slick back hairpiece in black, and his face is basically the same as the one that I designed for Gus Fring with some minor adjustments, and then he's wearing a dark blue 3-piece suit with a light blue and dark striped tie. Moving on to the build, I went through a lot of trial and error before settling on a design, and I think that the end result is quite accurate. On the roof is a large VOT sign printed on some slope pieces, and on the side is a door that leads into the first floor. The first floor is the research and analysis room with some desks and computers, and the desk to the right is meant to be Annika's desk with a web page on Butcher and an Almond Joy on the side, and then the other desk just has a computer with the VOT logo as well as a little Soldier Boy figurine. On the second floor is Homelander's room. His large bed is right in the middle with some small statues on either side, and then on the left is his cracked mirror where he talks to himself, and I really like how this printed piece turned out. I think it looks just like it does in the show with a Lego twist. The other side has some of the cabinets that A-Train searches through, one filled with bottles of milk and the other filled with vials of Compound V, and right above that is an American flag as well as a milkshake. This could either be Ryan's from season 4 or A-Train's from season 3. The third floor is half Stillwell's office and half is assorted references to members of the 7. Starting with Stillwell's desk, you can see the newspaper which says Billy the Butcher, a computer, and a chair, and then on the other side, the most obvious reference is the tank where Deep keeps Ambrosius, and there's also some bottles and the video of Homelander in a drawer, all referencing Maeve. And then finally, there's a little black knife and a drawer as a reference to Noir. Finally, the top floor is the 7's meeting room, and unfortunately, there wasn't any way to make the table fit 7 people unless I made this level ridiculously large, so it can only really sit 3 members, the ones that I included in the set, and even still, I think the small VOT logo looks pretty good, using a variety of black angle pieces and hinges. The last little detail is the statue of Homelander off to the right, and I couldn't make the sculpture of everyone in the 7 like there is in the show, but I still think that this little reference will suffice. So here's a look at the set altogether, and of course, here's a look at the box art. Well, that about wraps it up for this video, and if there are any minifigures or sets you want to see based off of the boys in the future, make sure to comment them down below. I've already basically completed all the figures that I'm doing for season 2 and 3, although I still have a couple that I need to finish, and I've already planned out most of the sets, but I haven't planned out all of them for season 3, so if you have any ideas, make sure to let me know. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe and all that jazz if you haven't already, but that's all I have for you guys today, so have a great day and go build something awesome.